I still step over that loose boy near the vent, thinking I'll wake you, but that's not where you went. The coffee bar whistles for a cup I don't fill. A house is a graveyard, heavy and still. I see it burn in the corner, trickle light, just a sweater you left hanging, giving me a fright. I'm catching my breath in the space you occupied, living in a museum of the day our love died. Now you're just a ghost in the hallway, chilling the air. I reach for a shadow and find nothing there, and haunted by whispers of forever and stay. But you're 1,000 miles gone and a heartbeat away. Yeah, the hardest part of living since you've gone is a post in the hallway that won't know why. I heard your keys jingle, or maybe it was rain against the window pane, mimicking my pain. I find your long hair on the collar of my coat, a physical stain from the note you never wrote. Every mirror I pass, I took to see your face right behind my shoulder, taking up your space. Now you're just a ghost in the hallway, chilling the air. I reach for a shadow and find nothing there. I'm haunted by whispers of forever and stay. Till you're 1,000 miles gone and the heartbeat away. Yeah, the hardest part of living since you've gone is a ghost in the hallway that won't move on. I tried to exercise your rooms, I tried to paint the walls, but memories gon' fade, babe, just echo through the halls. You're the four or the moon, you're the dress like the door. You don't live here anymore, but you're here more than before. I'm talking to the darkness, I'm looking through the blue. Just a ghost in the hallway, waiting for you. The refrigerator's buzzing in the kitchen down the hall. I'm tracing every shadow as they dance across the wall. I left your side of the duvet exactly how it was, waiting for a heartbeat that isn't there, because you took the warmth, you took the noise, you took the very air. Now I'm just a ghost in a house that doesn't care. It's that midnight static, the screaming of frequency crashing over me. I'm tuning through the silence, trying to find your ghost. But the midnight static is what hurts the most. The clock on the mantle has a heavy wooden beat, counting down the seconds since I last felt heat. I reached out in the dark and I caught a handful of dust. Everything we built is turning into rust. I used to fear the thunder, the chaos and the rain, but this perfect quiet room is a different kind of pain. It's that midnight static, the screaming of the floor, the sound of a lock that doesn't turn anymore. It's the ringing in my ears where your laughter used to be, just a hollow frequency crashing over me. I'm tuning through the silence, trying to find your ghost. But the midnight static is what hurts the most. They say silence is golden, but they've never been left in a room full of echoes and a heart full of theft. It's a high-pitched ache, it's a low-end thrum. I'm waiting for a sorry that's never gonna come. White noise, just white noise. I'm sleeping with the TV on just to drown it out, but I still hear the things you didn't say out loud. The forecast had mentioned the sky was gonna fall. I was still wearing summer when you walked down the hall. I had my sleeves rolled up, basking in your glow. I didn't see the clouds, I didn't feel the low. Now the mercury is dropping, the mercury is blue, and I'm standing in the driveway, reaching out for you. The leaves turn to brittle in the blink of an eye. I'm shivering in the hello and freezing in the goodbye. Now I'm facing a winter without a coat, drowning in a flurry of the things you never wrote. The ice is getting thicker on the inside of the glass. I'm waiting for that'll never really pass. I'm exposed to the elements, I'm shaking at the bone. It's a long, bitter winter when you're freezing alone. I try to wrap my arms around the space where you would be, but the wind just cuts right through the very heart of me. My breath comes out in silver, like ghosts of every word. The I love yous are the coldest things I've ever heard. I should have seen the frost, I should have braced for the storm, but I trusted your skin just to keep me warm. Now I'm facing a winter without a code, drowning in a flurry of the things you never wrote. The ice is getting thicker on the inside of the glass. I'm waiting for a season that'll never really pass. I'm exposed to the elements, I'm shaking at the bone. It's a long, bitter winter when you're freezing alone. There's no shelter in this house, no fire in the grate. The insulation failed, and now it's way too late. I'm a thin shirt summer soul in a 0-degree world, just a flag in the hurricane, battered and unfurled. In the kitchen, it's snowing in our bed. I'm just a winter without a coat, walking toward the white instead. I'm sitting in the corner where the dust begins to settle, picking at the pieces of a rusted copper kettle. I wanna scream your name until the windows start to shake, but I'm terrified of what a little honesty might break. So I swallow all the salt and I keep it all inside, watching every feeling turn into a rising tide. And it's just silence, sighs in an empty echoing room, trying to find a flicker and all the could have beens are never gonna pass. I'm a master of the quiet, I'm a scholar of the hush, living in the wreckage of a long and lonely rush. If a sigh is just a prayer that's too broken to be heard, then I spend a lifetime speaking without a single word. I'm exhaling all the memories, I'm breathing out the pain, but the oxygen is gone and only shadows now remain. And it's just silent sighs in an empty echoing room, trying to find a flicker in velvet kind of gloom. The words are on my tongue, but they never reach the air, just a hollow kind of heavy that I'm forced to learn to bear. You're 1,000 miles away, but I'm still here in the goodbyes, tangled in the rhythm of these silent sighs. Just a breath that never breaks, the heaviest sound a heartbeat makes. Shh. Listen to the quiet of the end. The sun went down at 5 o'clock, but it feels like years ago. I'm watching the mercury in the thermometer drop low. The house is settling into its bones, creaking on the floor, like it's tired of waiting for your hand to turn the door. I've memorized the pattern of the frost upon the paint, a jagged map of everywhere I'm never going again. And it's the longest night I've ever had to survive, trying to remember how it felt to be alive. The stars are cold as diamonds and the moon is made of ice, and I'm paying for our forever at a heavy lonely price. There's no dawn on the horizon, no silver in the gray, just the longest night of wishing you had stayed. I left your side of the electric blanket turned to hide, just to trick my body into thinking you're still nearby. But the heat is artificial and the pillows are too still. I'm staring at the darkness with a broken kind of will. Every ticking of the clock is a hammer on a nail in the coffin of a story that was always meant to fail. They say the earth is turning, but I think the world has stopped, like a glass of vintage wine that we accidentally dropped. If the light is never coming, then I'll learn to love the dark, but I'm terrified of losing every tiny little spark. 'Cause it's the longest night I've ever had to survive, trying to remember how it felt to be alive. The stars are cold as diamonds and the moon is made of ice, and I'm paying for our forever at a heavy lonely price. There's no walking through the rooms where we used to be loud, before our forever got lost in a cloud. Now the air is so heavy, it's hard to just stand, like I'm holding the ocean in the palm of my hand. I dropped a glass in the kitchen today, and I waited for words that you'll never say, but the crash didn't echo, it just hit the floor, and the quiet came back even louder than before. Oh, the weight of silence is crushing my chest. It's the ghost of a heartbeat that won't let me rest. It's the sound of the pages that will never turn, the cold empty fireplace where we used to burn. I'd give anything for a scream or a sigh, instead of this nothingness under the sky. I'm buried alive without making a sound, under the weight of silence that's pulling me down. I turn on the radio, I turn on the fan, doing anything to be a different man. But the white noise is hollow, the static is thin, it can't drown the riot that's breaking within. Every unanswered question and every state is a stone in a wall that I've built in your way. Now I'm trapped in the garden we planted in the spring, where the wind is the only thing left that can sing. They say that it's golden, they say that it's peace, but it feels like a sentence that has no release. If I shout out your name, will it shatter the glass, or just let the ghosts of our memories pass? Oh, the weight of silence is crushing my chest. It's the ghost of a heartbeat that won't let me rest. It's the sound of the pages that will never turn, the cold empty fireplace where we used to burn. I'd give anything for a scream or a sigh, instead of this nothingness under the sky. I'm buried alive without making a sound, under the weight of silence that's pulling me down. Can you hear the heartbreak? It's the quietest thing that I've ever had to take. Just the silence, just the way. Too late. The bottom drawer is heavy with the weight of things unsaid, a graveyard for the sentences that keep me in this bed. I've got 1,000 I'm sorry's tucked inside an envelope, and 1,000,000 please come homes that have finally lost their hope. The stamps are getting dusty and the glue is drying out, while I'm still here just wrestling with the shadow of a doubt. They're just unsent letters written in the dark, a bonfire of memories that'll never find a spark. I'm pouring out my soul to a ghost who'll never read every jagged little line, every time I let it bleed. The postman never stops here, and the ink is turning blue on these unsent letters that I wrote for only you. I describe the way the kitchen looked when morning hits the floor, and how I still catch myself looking looking for you at the door. I wrote about the silence, how it's louder than a scream, and how I'm trying to wake up from this broken-hearted dream. But I fold them into squares and I hide them from the light, because I know that us is over and I haven't got the right. Maybe one day I'll just burn them, let the smoke tell you the truth, let the wind carry the ashes of our wasted lonely youth. But for now I'll keep on riding till the ribbon starts to fray, sending messages to nowhere every single lonely day. They're just unsent letters written in the dark, a bonfire of memories that'll never find a spark. I'm pouring out my soul to a ghost who'll never read every jagged little line, every time I let it bleed. The postman never stops here, and the ink is turning blue on these unsent letters that I wrote for only you. No address, no return, just the pages left to burn. Dear you, goodbye. I'm tracing the patterns on the sleeve of your old coat, searching for a lifeline in a single jagged note. The fire's burning low now, just a pile of glowing red, while I'm replaying every forever that we eventually said. It's a heavy kind of silence, like a curtain in the room, wrapping up my spirit in this comfortable gloom. And I'm crying velvet tears, soft and dark and deep, a secret kind of sorrow that I'm forced to try and keep. They don't burn like fire, they just settle like the dust, moving through the ruins of a broken hollow trust. It's a smooth kind of hurt and a beautiful despair, lost inside the shadows of a love that isn't there, drowning in the rhythm of these velvet tears. The wine is getting bitter in the bottom of the glass, watching all the could have beens that never gone as past. I thought we were a tapestry, a work of gold and blue, but the threads are all unraveling and pulling back to you. I reach for the horizon, but I only find the edge of a promise that's been hanging like a ghost upon the ledge. Wrap me in the midnight, let the blackness be my skin, anything to hide the state of the wreck I'm living in. If sorrow was a fabric, I'd be draped in every fold, telling all the stories that were never meant to be told. Yeah, I'm crying velvet tears, soft and dark and deep, a secret kind of sorrow that I'm forced to try and keep. They don't burn like fire, they just settle like the dust, inside the shadows of a love that isn't there, drowning in the rhythm of these velvet tears. So soft, so slow, the only way I know to let you go. Just the velvet, just the night, turning out the light. I went back to the canyon where we used to shout our names, back before the sparks of us were swallowed by the flames. Now I'm standing on the ledge where the air is turning thin, trying to find the ending where the always should begin. I call out to the valley, but the valley's gone away, and the sun is just a memory in a sky of static gray. Now it's just whispers in the wind, ghosts upon the breeze, carrying the stay with me through the hollow trees. I'm catching fragments of a laugh, a shadow of a sigh, tangled in the velvet of a long and lonely sky. Everything we promised, everything we pinned, scattered like the autumn leaves and whispers in the wind. I see your face in every cloud that's drifting out to sea, the restless kind of beauty that you took away from me. The tall grass is bowing like it's praying for the rain, while I'm just standing steady in the center of the pain. I try to hold the moments, but they're slipping through my grip like a handful of the ocean on a sinking wooden ship. If I follow where it blows, will it lead me to your door? Or am I chasing something that doesn't exist anymore? I'm talking to the gale, I'm crying to the gods, watching every you and I turn into silver dust. 'Cause it's just whispers in the wind, ghosts upon the breeze, carrying the stay with me through the hollow trees. I'm catching fragments of a laugh, a shadow of a sigh, tangled in the velvet of a long and lonely sky. Everything we promised, everything we pinned, is scattered like the autumn leaves and whispers in the wind. Can you hear me? Or is it just the storm, trying to find a place to keep the memories warm? Just a whisper, just the wind letting go.
I watched you paint your future with a brand new set of colors, giving all the magic that we had to someone other. I see the way you leaning when he says your name out loud, like he's the only lighthouse in a dark and heavy cloud. I'm standing on the outside, just a shadow in the rain, trying to find a reason for this specific kind of pain. Why not me? I was the one who knew your heartbeat's rhythm. I carried every secret, every dream, it stayed within them. I was the hand you held when all
or the way he lets you go? Is it a deeper kind of fire that I didn't know how to show? I retraced every footstep, I replayed every line, searching for the moment that you stop being mine.
I kept the fire burning through the winter and the frost, only to realize I'm the one who's getting lost.
I would've been your fortress, I would've been your home, I would've walked 1,000 miles across the salt and foam, but you looked right through my always for a maybe in his eyes, and now I'm just a victim of your beautiful goodbyes. Why not me? I was the one who knew your heartbeat's rhythm. I carried every secret, every dream to stay within them. I was the hand you held when all the walls were falling down, the one who stayed to lift you when you thought that you would drown. Now I'm just a question that you never have to answer, while you're moving to a melody with a different kind of dancer. Tell me what he's got that I was too blind to see.
Why not me?
Why not me?
Was I just a chapter while he's the whole book?
I'm giving you back every memory I took, but the question still haunts me like a ghost in the sea.
Why not me? Just why not me?
The frost is blooming white across the garden we once grew, stiff and jagged patterns where I used to walk with you. The heater's humming steady, but the house is feeling thin, like the walls are made of paper, letting all the mountain in. I'm wearing 2 old sweaters, but I'm shivering inside, watching every summer dream just shrivel up and die. And it's a winter's chill that settled in my bones, a freezing kind of silence in a house of empty stones. The fire's just a memory and the light is getting gray, since you took the only warmth I had and walked the other way. My heart is locked in iron, just a static frozen thrill, drowning in the heavy dark of this winter's chill. The footprints in the driveway have been buried by the drift, a wide and heavy curtain that I don't know how to lift. I'm looking for your shadow in the pale and biting air, but there's nothing but the ice and a ghost that isn't there. The windows are all clouded, I can't see the street below, just a burial of everything beneath a foot of snow. They say the spring is coming, they say the ice will break, but they don't know the damage that a frozen heart can take. I'm waiting for a thought that I'm afraid I'll never see, while the blizzard keeps on howling at the center of me. It's a winter's chill that settled in my bones, a freezing kind of silence in a house of empty stones. The fire's just a memory and the light is getting gray, since you took the only warmth I had and walked the other way. My heart is locked in iron, just a static frozen thrill, drowning just the chill. I'm staring at the calendar, but the numbers don't feel right. I'm stuck inside a Sunday in a different kind of light. The coffee's in the cupboard where you like to keep the jar, and I'm still driving down the road to where I think you are. I haven't changed the sheets yet, I'm afraid to lose the ghost of the version of the two of us that I love the very most. And I'm yearning for yesterday, reaching for the sun before the damage started and the leaving had begun. I'm a traveler in circles, I'm a pilgrim in the past, trying to hold a moment that was never meant to last. The future is a stranger, and the present's just a play, while I'm dying in the memory of a perfect yesterday. The radio is playing that old anthem for the lost, counting up the promises and what the keeping cost. I retrace every footstep to the place where we went wrong, searching for a lyric in the middle of our song. But the ink is getting lighter and the pages have gone thin, and I don't know how to live inside the skin that I am in. If I could turn the planet back, if I could stop the gears, I'd wash away the wreckage and the salt of all these years. But the clock is like a hammer and the time is like a blade, cutting through the fabric of the life that we both made. I'm yearning for yesterday, reaching for the sun before the damage started and the leaving had begun. I'm a traveler in circles, I'm a pilgrim in the past, trying to hold a moment that was never meant to last. The future is a stranger, and the present's just a play, while I'm dying in the memory of a perfect yesterday. Just a day ago, when I still knew the way the morning felt in a world with you. Yesterday, stay. Yesterday.